My name is Nikre Ninji, and I am from Gonakwam village here in Nigeria. I'm just an ordinary man, but today I want to share with you a story that changed my life forever. It is a story about love, temptation, and realizing the true value of what we already have. This is my story. Last year in October, I made a decision, a very rash and drastic decision that will shake my marriage to its core. After 23 years with my wife, Esther, I told her something that no spouse ever wants to hear. I told her that I was going to take another wife. Esther was devastated. She argued and pleaded with me, trying to change my mind. She called everyone she could think of, her parent, my parent, and even our pastor. But none of it mattered to me. I was determined. My heart was made up. I stood firm, convinced that I was doing the right thing. I told myself I am a man and I make the decisions in this family, and that is final. Nothing can make me change my mind or can force me to abort the decision that I have already taken. Esther didn't stop there. She even reached out to my boss at work, hoping he could convince me to change my mind. But still, I refused to budge. I was vehement. I had my sights set on another woman, a young, beautiful, and charming girl named Becky. To me, Becky was everything. She was young, vibrant, and exciting. I told myself that I needed a fresh start, someone who could bring excitement back into my life. I even convinced myself that Esther, the woman who has stood by me for over 2 decades, was no longer enough. I told myself she was getting old and I deserved something more, something younger, more exciting. Becky was the perfect package. Oh, so I thought. She had everything: a beautiful face, an amazing figure, and the kind of energy that made me feel alive again. I told myself, who wouldn't want Becky? She is my blood tonic, my sweet tom-tom. I was so obsessed and desperate about her. Even when Esther tried to change, she started wearing more stylish clothes, trying to win me back. I was already too far gone, far gone. I had convinced myself that Becky was all I needed to be happy. Last week, I decided it was time to make things official with Becky. I went to see her family to start the marriage process. But that is when things took a turn I never expected. Her family handed me a list of demands. A plot of land in Abuja was what they wanted me to buy. That is in the capital city of Nigeria. And also to buy a cow, a very big one. To buy cars for both of her parents. And also to pay for her brother's medical school from the beginning to the end. And that was not all. Also to buy an iPhone for each member of her family, and to also help them to finish a house which her grandfather had started but was unable to complete. And on the top of that, to also give a cash sum of 2.5 million. I was stunned. It was like a cold splash of water on my face. For the first time, I realized that this dream I had been chasing came with a price far greater than I was willing to pay. I never saw this coming. It was a very huge dowry that I needed to provide, even according to their own list. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I went home and looked at Esther, really looked at her for the first time in a long while. Everything I had been complaining about, her stretch marks, her aging body, all looked different to me now. Those stretch marks weren't imperfections, they were reminders of the life we had built together. Her aging wasn't something to run from, it was proof of the years we had spent loving each other. Who was I kidding? Becky was nothing compared to Esther. Esther was the woman who had stood by my side through thick and thin. She was still the woman I loved, the woman who had given me 23 years of her life. And just like that, I realized how foolish I had been. I had almost thrown away the best thing that ever happened to me. I went to Esther, held her hand, and told her, I am so sorry, my dear. I'm sorry. I was wrong. You are my one and only, my Kuri Peturi. I no longer needed Becky. My sweet Esther was all I needed. The stretch marks I once frowned upon were now beautiful to me. The signs of aging I once resented were now marks of our shared history. Esther, my delicious Esther, was my past, my present, and my future. And I was ready to commit to her, to our life of love together. This story is a lesson for all of us. Sometimes we get so caught up in chasing something new and exciting that we forget the value of what we already have. Don't let temporal distraction make you forget the beauty of what you have built together with your spouse or with your partner. Cherish the ones who love you and never take them for granted. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it serves as a reminder of what truly matters in life. And perhaps you are in doubt, or you have been treating the loved ones of your life in disdainful ways. I pray and I hope that this lesson will make you to go back and make amends and make a resolution to stand by your loved ones. Remain blessed. Thank you.